Welcome to Test Prep CA8 part 1, question number 10. In this question it says, Mr. Sims gives out gummy bears to Rapid Chipmunks daily. The amount of gummy bears they have at the end of the day follows the rule, y is equal to x plus 2.8. In the equation, x represents the amount of gummy bears each rabbit chipmunk starts with. Complete the table so that the rabbit chipmunks will know how many gummy bears they will have if they start with a certain number of gummy bears. I suggest that you get it right. Otherwise, the rabbit chipmunks will be coming for you. They know where you live. Yes, you. I'm talking to you, not your partner, but you. Those rabbit chipmunks know where you live. No pressure. All right, moving on from there, what we have is we have a set of x values. These are known as our inputs. We have our process, but they have it in the form of an equation. But don't let that confuse you. It's just a process. And here is our output, y. So the only thing that might trip you up in this really is that the process is in the form of an equation. You're not used to seeing it like that. You're used to basically kind of coming up with the rule yourself. But what we see is that when the x, whatever x is, you add 2.8 to it. So that tells us that the process to get from the input, which is your x value, to the output is you add 2.8. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in throughout the chart. So all I've done is I have just filled in my process, which is plus 2.8. So whatever my x value is, I add 2.8 to it. Now that I have both of those, I can start coming up with my y value. Well, the question is, if x is equal to 1, and I have to, the process is add 2.8 to it, I have 1, and I want to add 2.8 to it. Don't forget you have to line up the decimal points. If you have the number 1, the decimal point is basically right after that number. So 1 plus 2.8, 8 plus 0 is 8, 1 plus 2 is 3. So my answer is 3.8. So my y value, when x is equal to 1, my y value is 3.8. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the chart. So that's really good news. We already have one value for y. So let's do one more just to get further along. So when x is equal to 2, once again I draw my 2 here, the question is, where is the decimal point on the 2? I ask that because I'm going to need to add 2.8 here. So where's the decimal point on this 2? Well, the decimal point's right here. It's always after basically after the whole number. So 2, and I'm going to line up the decimal points. That's the most important thing when we're adding and subtracting decimals. Then I need to put a 0 here just as a placeholder. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. So we find that when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4.8. And you're just going to do that for all the other problems. You're going to do 3 plus 2.8. Okay. You're going to do 4 plus 2.8. And you're going to do that for basically all of these input values to get y output values. And if you do that, here's what you're going to end up getting. And that is how the table is filled out. Once again, just make sure you fill out the process, which you get from the equation, and just make sure you fill out the output values. But that right there is how you fill out the table for it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed up to question 10. We have one more question to finish this test prep with. Have a great night.